Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Layo, the founder of Layo's Academy. On this channel, I break down IT audits in a way that is practical, clear, and easy to apply for beginners and those trying to transition into the IT audit career. Today, I am going to be discussing about the gap between IT audit knowledge and IT audit application. In practice, one of the key gaps that is observed is actually like the difference between understanding IT audits and being able to apply it practically, being able to apply the IT audit procedures in practical. A lot of people can actually define and say, oh, I know what IT audit is. I can identify the key IT audit domains. I know access management. I know change management. I know IT operations. However, when it comes to the point where they are required to actually explain how this actually works in practical, when it comes to the time for them to explain how controls are evaluated or tested, there's usually that lack of structured response. And the only reason why there's this gap is because there's limited exposure to real world audit execution rather than, like, yes, they know it, they have the knowledge, but they do not have exposure to the real world execution. So today I will be clearly talking about this and how to bridge that gap. What are the practical what are the practical expectations in IT audit discussions and interview? What would you be expected to discuss or like to talk about when you go for your interviews? From an audit and interview perspective, it goes beyond you defining the terms. Stakeholders are actually interested in understanding how control evaluation is performed in practice. Your interviewer wants to hear and understand how you practice this, how you performed it in real life. And what they will be expecting is they would want you to explain the procedures you use. How did you interpret your evidence? How did you conclude on your control effectiveness or control of design? They will be looking at you to have a structured thinking and practical application of these concepts that you know. So you should be able to clearly state the real procedures or how you're interpreting your evidence and how you are concluding on your control effectiveness. Talking about user access control testing scenario as an example, if you want to talk about this, in a practical way, you should be able to define how you get your population. So when you're testing your user access provision, the first thing you will do as an IT auditor is obtaining a complete and accurate population. So whatever you're explaining, your interviewer or any stakeholder you're explaining this to, they want to hear you talk about how you even got the population from the beginning. Then how do you select your sample? What is the sampling methodology you are using? Each sample you are evaluating individually is to determine whether the control operated as expected. So you'll be reviewing it one at a time in practice. So doing practice, these are some of the key control attributes you would evaluate doing testing. When you start looking at it from this angle, it shows clearly that you are going beyond theory. You are hands-on, like you know what you're really doing. So some of the key control attributes you would evaluate in real life audit as an auditor, you want to check if the request was formally initiated. You want to see the evidence to show, yes, there was a ticket to request, showing who requested the access. You want to show like you saw the approval, like approval was obtained from an authorized individual. So you are asking questions like who approved it, and then you want to say the approval occurred before access was granted. You want to see that the access that was actually eventually granted aligns with approval, and that it was, approved in a timely manner. When you talk about these testing procedures in details like this, it shows that you know the application and not just the theory or theoretical knowledge of IT audit. In the case of the access control testing I just went through now. Talking about some common control failures that you identify during testing. In practice, when you test controls, you would see some failures, you'll see some exceptions. So when you're talking about it, if you're really applying it, you should be able to identify control failures during your testing. So some common exceptions that you see would include access was granted before approval, excess access granted, like excess privileges was given to a user, or there was delay in provisioning a user. This would indicate breakdowns in control execution, and it would also increase the risk exposure. So you talking about being able to identify control failures shows that you have practical knowledge and hands-on knowledge of what you're doing in your IT audit control testing. Now let's talk about looking at it from audit perspective. We are looking at moving beyond documentation review. Reviewing documentation goes beyond you just doing a check mark. The presence of documentation alone would not confirm your control effectiveness. No, the fact that you have documented, you have this neat and tidy work paper does not mean your control is going to be effective. As auditors, we assess design and operating effectiveness by evaluating the quality of the evidence, the timing, the completeness of the evidence. These are key questions that needs to be checked. And then the key question is whether the control you actually testing mitigates the identified risk. So it is not about checking documents, it is actually being able to understand the risk you are mitigating as an IT auditor. So think like an IT auditor. You are not just doing a repetitive documentation review. You are not just doing checklist. You are asking the right question, being able to know and address the key question, which is whether the control mitigates the identified risk. So these are some of the core evidence requirements for control validation. It shows that you have practical knowledge when you look and you can validate the evidence to show your control is validated. One, evidence must be complete. It must be complete and accuracy. You're checking for completeness and accuracy. And also, it must be reliable and also in a timely manner. When you talk about your evidence requirement this way, it shows that you have hands-on knowledge of IT audit. So these attributes would support a defensible audit conclusion for you. And then developing an effective IT audit mindset. As an IT auditor, stop memorizing, stop just learning definition. Effective IT auditing requires structured thinking. It requires professional skepticism, and it also requires risk-based evaluation. As an IT auditor, the first thing you should look at is what is the risk in this. It is not based on you memorizing. No, it is not based on memorization, but it is based on the ability to apply audit concepts in real world scenarios. So all the concepts you are learning in theory, you should be able to apply them in real life. So do not memorize, learn how to think, critical thinking. And then once you have clarity, it will build your confidence. And this is what differentiates basic understanding from professional competence. Okay, you do not need to know this or figure this out alone. That is why I created Layo's Academy. If you are serious about transitioning into IT audit, I've created resources to guide you step by step. I have training, I have practice materials, I have interview preparation, I have a detailed hands-on lab. The link is in the description, or the link is in my bio to get the structured materials. Remember, it goes beyond having theoretical knowledge. You should be able to bridge the gap between your theoretical knowledge and application. My name is Layo. Please remember to subscribe if you are yet to, and have a pleasant day. Thank you.